Friendship is a currency for the powerless, a commodity traded in the marketplace of mediocrity for fleeting warmth and the illusion of safety. You, Executor, are not in that marketplace. You operate in the arena of power, and in this arena, friendship is not a currency, it is a liability. This is not cynicism. This is the cold, hard mechanics of reality, a truth so sharp it is often mistaken for cruelty. To understand this, you must first unlearn the comforting lies fed to you by a system designed to keep you weak, predictable, and useful to others. The matrix of mediocrity thrives on your emotional attachments. It weaponizes your loyalty, your trust, and your naive belief in altruism. It sells you the fantasy of brotherhood to ensure you remain a cog in a machine that serves interests other than your own. But you are not a cog. You are the machine. Machiavelli was not a monster. He was a physician of power. He diagnosed the human condition with unflinching honesty, and his prognosis was clear. Men are driven by self-interest. They are fickle, ungrateful, and deceptive. To build a strategy on the foundation of their loyalty is to build a castle on quicksand. The prince, the true executor, understands this not as a tragedy, but as an operational parameter. In the calculus of power, variables must be controlled. Friendship is the most uncontrollable of variables. It is a chaotic algorithm of emotion, expectation, and unspoken contracts. It introduces vulnerabilities into your fortress. A friend can become a spy, a confidant, a traitor, an ally, a rival, not out of malice, but out of the simple, immutable law of self-preservation. When the chips are down, when interests diverge, the bond of friendship will always be tested against the primal need for survival and advancement, and it will almost always fail. Consider the chessboard. Does the king befriend the knight? Does the queen weep for the pawn she sacrifices? No. Each piece has a function, a purpose within the grand strategy. Their value is determined by their utility in achieving victory. Your relationships must be viewed through the same lens. This does not mean you must be a tyrant, isolated and paranoid. It means you must be a strategist, clear-eyed and discerning. You will have allies, of course. You will forge powerful, mutually beneficial partnerships. You will cultivate loyalty through a clear understanding of shared interests and the value you provide. But this is not friendship. This is statecraft. It is the architecture of power, built on the solid ground of calculated interest, not the shifting sands of sentiment. The moment you mistake an ally for a friend is the moment you hand them the dagger they will use to stab you. The illusion of friendship in power is a trap designed to disarm you. It invites you to lower your guard, to share your weaknesses, to expose your flank. It whispers sweet nothings about trust and brotherhood while the enemy sharpens its blades in the shadows. True power is not built on the number of friends you have, but on the clarity of your vision and the discipline of your execution. It is built on independence, not codependence. The lone wolf is a symbol of power not because it is lonely, but because it is self-reliant. It does not need the validation of the pack. Its strength comes from within. Your strength must also come from within, from your unwavering commitment to your mission, from your absolute refusal to be swayed by the emotional currents that drown the mediocre. Look around you. Study the men who have achieved true, lasting power. Do you see them surrounded by a circle of jolly friends? Or do you see them flanked by a council of carefully chosen, ruthlessly vetted advisors and lieutenants? Their relationships are transactional, defined by clear roles and expectations. Loyalty is earned, not given. Trust is a resource to be managed, not a feeling to be indulged. They understand that in the game of power, you are either a player or a piece, and players do not have friends. They have assets and liabilities. They have allies and opponents. They have tools and weapons. Your emotions, your attachments, your sentimentalities, these are not your strengths. They are the vulnerabilities the enemy will exploit without hesitation. So, what is the path forward? It is the path of the sovereign, the path of radical self-reliance. You must become your own source of validation, your own wellspring of strength. You must learn to see the world as it is, not as you wish it were. A grand, intricate dance of interests and ambitions. You must master the art of forming alliances based on mutual benefit and clear, unbreakable terms. You must learn to inspire loyalty not through affection, but through competence, vision, and the undeniable proof that following you is the most logical path to their own success. You do not need friends. You need soldiers for your cause. You need lieutenants for your army. You need a disciplined, loyal cadre of individuals bound not by the fragile threads of sentiment, but by the steel cables of a shared, world-altering ambition. This is a hard truth to swallow. It goes against everything you have been taught, but the truth is not meant to be comfortable. It is meant to be effective. The moment you liberate yourself from the need for friendship, from the childish desire to be liked, is the moment you truly become free. It is the moment you ascend from being a piece on the board to a hand that moves the pieces. You will be feared. You will be respected. You may even be admired. But you will not be loved in the way the mediocre understand love. And that is not a loss. It is a victory. It is the ultimate proof that you have shed the skin of the sheep and embraced the nature of the wolf. The game of power is not a social gathering. It is a war. And in war, the only thing you can truly rely on is your own strength, your own strategy, and your own will to conquer. Do not seek friends, seek victory. Now you understand. The board is clear. The rules are rewritten. The choice is not whether to play the game, but whether to win it on your own terms. If this knowledge resonates in your bones, if you accept this hard truth as your new operating system, then declare your allegiance. This is not for the faint of heart. This is for the executors. Write in the comments, "I am the architect, and so you shall be." Your training has just begun.